They called me a diversity hire, so I stole their biggest client and started my own empire. I was told by my senior partners that I was only hired to fill a quota, so I waited until their biggest contract was up for renewal and walked away with it to start my own firm. When I started at Vanguard Associates, I was the youngest female consultant they had ever seen. I worked 80-hour weeks, fixed every mistake the senior partners made, and brought in more revenue than any of the associates. But when promotion season came, I was skipped over. I overheard my boss, Mr. Sterling, telling a client over drinks that I was just a diversity hire to make the firm look good, and that I lacked the killer instinct to lead. He actually told me to my face that I should be grateful for my generous salary instead of asking for a seat at the table. That was the day I decided to stop building his dream and start building mine. For the next 4 months, I played the part of the grateful employee perfectly. I gathered every bit of data, every legal loophole, and every personal connection I had made with our top client, a global tech giant. I knew they were unhappy with Vanguard's outdated methods, so I spent my nights creating a revolutionary strategy that Vanguard was too arrogant to even consider. On the day the tech giant was supposed to sign a 5-year renewal with Vanguard, I walked into the boardroom and handed in my resignation. But I didn't walk out the door. I stayed in that room, and with the client's permission, I pitched them my new firm. I showed them that I was the brains behind their success all along, not the men in suits who took all the credit. The client didn't even hesitate. They canceled their contract with Vanguard on the spot and signed a multi-million-dollar deal with my new startup before I even had an office. When I finally walked out, Sterling was waiting in the hallway, screaming that I was a traitor and that he would sue me into the ground for theft of trade secrets. I just smiled, handed him a copy of my employment contract, which his own lazy legal team had failed to include a non-compete clause in, and told him, "You said I didn't have the killer instinct. I guess you were wrong about that too." Within a month, half of his best staff quit to join me, and Vanguard is now facing a total collapse. Now the industry's old boys club is blacklisting me. They're calling me a snake and an unprofessional opportunist who used her position to sabotage a legacy firm. Sterling is even going on podcasts, claiming I'm the asshole for bankrupting a company that gave me my first big break, and that I've ruined the lives of the remaining employees just for my own ego. Some people are saying I should have just left and competed fairly instead of stealing their bread and butter during a vulnerable time. They think I should have stayed silent and waited my turn. So I have to ask, am I the asshole for quitting my job and taking the firm's biggest client with me to start my own business? Or is this just what happens when you underestimate a diversity hire? Was this a boss move or a betrayal? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more stories of women winning in a man's world, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button right now.